Okay, so today we are going to solve quadratic equation by factorization. Now, this form here is already factorized. It is already factorized. Now, the question is, when will we get 0 when we multiply two terms together? In what situation? When we multiply two terms, we will get 0. One of them must be, yes, this must be 0, very good, or this must be 0, or both must be 0. Only when you multiply something by 0 will you get a 0. So like what Chen Jun just said, x plus 2 must be equals to 0, or 3x minus 5 must be equals to 0. So either this equals to 0 or this must be equals to 0 in order to get 0 after multiplying. So how do we find x? How do we make x the subject? We bring over the, and what will we get? X equals to negative 2. Now when you put negative 2 here, it becomes 0, right? 0 times this will be 0. Now what about this? This is a two-step solving. Iman? Okay, very good. You bring this over, 3x equals to 5. You skip the step, you can straight away give the answer. And to remove the 3, I got to divide by 3, divide by 3. Because you tell yourself this is times, right? These two are multiplying each other. To remove it, I got to divide by 3, divide by 3, and x equals to 5 over 3. So this is how you solve after you factorize. So we are going to solve this quadratic equation. Do you realize that it is not factorized? So there are two ways to solve this because there's only two terms.
7, 8, x plus 7, x minus 7.
Ah, very good. So x squared minus 49 equals to 0. I bring this over first. So x squared equals to 49. Very good. And x, what must I do to remove the square? Very good. Wrong.
Yes. Plus minus.
Yes, you have to make a habit of saying plus minus square root. Oh, because square root will only give you one answer. Plus minus square root will give you both the correct answers. Now, so you need to say plus minus. It's always a trick question. So that's why here we have plus minus 7. Now, some of you like to write it as 7 or negative 7. So these are the two answers. Now, however, today's lesson is on solving by factorization. So let's factorize this. How do we factorize x squared minus 49 equals to 0? Very good. Y'all remember? Wow. So the formula is this. This is called difference of two squares. And it looks like this. I will have a squared minus b squared. A perfect square minus a perfect square. And what will we get? A what? Plus b when we factorize. And the next term will be? Okay, so once again, what is this? Yes. So we will have x plus 7, x minus 7. Okay, so if you are not familiar, it's very good. Okay, we are not very familiar. We say x plus 7 equals 0. X minus 7 equals 0. So what is the value of x here? Equals to? X equals to? 7. Now, the last question here, this is the most common type. Yes. So in order to solve this, I must use the frame method, the box method, or the cross method. Okay, the box method and frame method is the same thing. Okay, you all remember how to set up the frame method? Tic-tac-toe, right? Tic-tac-toe. And the cross method? This way. So this is multiply And then this is addition. Okay, let's start. Okay, we have to set up the frame method. What do I put here? Wow, very good. 2x squared. What do I put here? Negative 5. Huh? So the setup is slightly different from the cross method. So we are starting with these two. So since we have this 2x squared, we will have 2x times x to give you 2x squared. So we have 2x times x. So what are the factors of 5? Oh, very good. It's a prime number, so only 1 and 5, right? So very fast you'll get the answer already. We only need to try it twice. 1 and 5, 5 and 1. Okay, so what? Let's guess lah. You want to put 1 here or 5 here? Okay, I listen to you. I put a 1 and then a 5. Now, don't put the negative sign first. The negative sign is the last thing that we put. Otherwise, you get very, very complicated. So, let's multiply first. This is 2x. This is 5. How much do we get here? 10x. This is 1. This is x. So, I'll get 1x. X. So, 10x and 1x, can I get 9x? 10x and 1x, can you get? Yes, you must put a minus here, right? So if this is minus, this must be minus. That's how you settle the negative sign. You settle it last. Okay, so our answer will be 2x minus 1x, what, 5? Plus or minus 5? Plus 5. Okay, now let's try the cross method. How to set up the cross method? You put 2x squared. What numbers do you put?
Minus 5.
Here you must put a minus 5. Okay? And the last one here is your x term, which is your 9x. So, what multiplied by what will give you 2x squared? 2x multiplied by x. So I will try 1, 5 and 5, 1. So I will try 1, 5. So when I cross multiply, I will get x here. When I cross multiply, I will get 10x. So which one is negative? The x, the 10, or both? You will know that the x will be the one that is negative, and therefore this is negative. Now in your homework, I always say, please check and expand before you conclude that this is the final answer. So you must check. So we will have here 2x minus 1, x plus 5 equals to 0. Expand and check that you get this. So how do we solve this? Are you able to do this mentally? Just try. What do you think is the answer?
2x.
Okay. So if you are unable to do it mentally, then just write down the step. 2x minus 1 equals 0, or x equals to, so x plus 5 equals to 0. Yep. So when we shift this over, x is minus 5. When we shift this over, 2x is 1 first, and then x is half. So this is what we call solving by factorization. You factorize first, and then you give the two answers. Okay, that's all. Can someone help to off the